And they'll try and make it 2 straight over the Yankees here. First pitch of the ball game is coming. And it's hammered and caught by the shortstop Everett. What a play. A leaping catch. And this one starts with a bang.
Not surprised Jeter swung at the very first pitch, knowing how Jackson's been pounding the strike zone with fastballs. Also, Verlander pounded the strike zone with lots of fastballs last night. Nice elevation by Everett.
Very nice. So with 1 out, here is Johnny Damon. It is 50 degrees here at game time tonight. Quite a departure. About 22 degrees cooler here this evening than it was last night. Still good baseball weather, though. A little bit chilly, but no rain.
I did not know, but I was reading the Free Press today, and Michael Rosenberg of the Free Press said that the first 7 hitters in the Yankees lineup last night all took the first pitch for a strike.
I didn't realize that as the game was going on. There is a strike called, and it's 2-1 now.
I knew Verlander was getting ahead of a lot of their hitters, but did not realize that many guys had taken a strike.
Tipped into the glove at 94 from Jackson. 2 balls, 2 strikes on Johnny Damon.
For the most part, Jackson's been power fastballs this year, anywhere from 94 to 97 with an unhittable slider. Very few changeups, but he'll need more changeups tonight.
Jammed it that time, and it's fouled away.
And the reason I say that is the Yankees will run quite a few left-handed hitters up there tonight against Jackson, and he'll need that changeup that fades away from some of them.
There's Joe Girardi, the skipper of the Yankees. Mark Teixeira waiting on deck. The Yankees come in under 500 at 9-10. It's fouled away again.
And Yankees right now scuffling offensively and pitching wise. Although CC Sabathia was pretty good last night, on most nights CC gets a win with that stuff he was featuring in last night's game.
Well, Damon doing what just about every Yankees hitter loves to do, and that is just go deep into the arsenal of the opposing pitcher and foul off pitch after pitch.
Well, their game plan coming in, it really doesn't matter who's on the mound. They want to drive that starting pitcher's pitch count up. They want to get into the opposing team's bullpen.
Shattered his bat right at the right fielder Ordonez. An 8-pitch at bat, but 2 gone.
Let's take a look at the Tigers defense. You've got Ordonez in right. You've got Granderson in center. Anderson back out there tonight. In left field, the infield reads Inge, Everett, Polanco, Cabrera. You know Jackson's pitching and Gerald Laird behind the plate. Tigers defense brought to you by your local Chrysler and Jeep Superstore.
So with 2 outs, here is Mark Teixeira, the switch hitter, facing Edwin Jackson. Teixeira off to a 220 start. Talked a little bit about this last night. Without A-Rod in their lineup, it is a whole lot easier to pitch around him. The 1-0 pitch. There's a strike. Teixeira, of course, signing the big deal in the offseason. There was some thought that he might go to the Boston Red Sox. Grew up in Maryland, perhaps the Orioles, but he ended up in New York. And he had a big year last year, splitting time between Atlanta and the Angels. The Angels traded for him down the stretch, hoping that he would make the difference once the playoffs rolled around, but the Angels were defeated in the first round by Boston.
He's got an impact bat from both sides of the plate. Also a Gold Glove defender.
That's in the air the other way, straight at Josh Anderson, and a 1-2-3 inning for Edwin Jackson. Here come the Tigers in the bottom of the first, no score. No score in this one. We'll check out the Tigers starting lineup. Curtis Granderson in center field leads it off. Placido Polanco last night a couple of doubles. Tied for first in the American League with 9 of those now. He'll play second base. Maglio is in right field. Cabrera cleaning up. Guillen is your DH again tonight. Laird is again catching. And your bottom 3 tonight features Inge, Anderson, and Everett. Bernstein Advantage brings you the scouting report on Phil Hughes of the Yankees. Get the Bernstein Advantage. We go to bat for you.
Well, Hughes went to spring training this year knowing that he had no chance at making the Yankees staff with the additions of CeCe Sabathia and also A.J. Burnett. But he pitched well in spring training. He also had 3 starts in AAA this year. Pitched very well, but winless last year in 08. He was 0-8 with an earned run average over 6.5.
Well, the youngster out of Mission Viejo, California, climbs on top of the hill. Curtis Granderson, the first man to test him. And it's strike 1 on Curtis. 1 for 4 in the ball game last night for Granderson, and the average at 250. He's gotten off to a good start in terms of power. 6 homers already. Fastball rides inside. 1-1.
That's a new pitch for Hughes. That last pitch, it's a cut fastball. It allows him to get in on the hands of the left-handed hitters, which is something he was not able to do last year. Starting to see more and more guys with those cut fastballs. If you don't throw 96, 97, you can't throw the ball by guys. Then you need to have a little bit of movement as the ball gets in the strike zone to jam some hitters.
There's a guy at the back end of the Yankees bullpen that has used a cutter for the past decade or so with a lot of success, and it's probably going to land him in the Hall of Fame.
You got that right.
Mr. Rivera.
Number 42.
Here's the 2-2 pitch. The hook misses high and away, so he's thrown a couple of those, and neither one was close to the strike zone.
He's got a good one. It's a knuckle curve that he throws. And I was watching some video of him on one of the Tigers television sets down in their clubhouse of his last start against them last year, and he threw a lot of curveballs.
That's popped up, foul ground. There may be room. Pena just about got there, but he couldn't hang on to it.
Got a little scared of that wall.
That was in his glove.
That's why when you can, and it's easier said than done, when you're trying to make a play like that, you get to the railing as fast as you possibly can, and then you try to make the adjustments by finding the baseball.
Tipped into the glove. Strike 3. Hughes threw a heater down Main Street. 1 gone.
Take a look at the Yankee defense. You've got Damon, Cabrera, Swisher in the outfield. You've got the captain at shortstop, Derek Jeter. Tremendous player, Robertson, Cano at second, also having an outstanding year. How about Jose Molina behind the plate for the 2nd consecutive day? And what they tell us is Jorge Posada is battling a little bit of a tight hamstring, something that happened to him a couple of days ago in Boston.
There's a strike called on Polanco. Well, the catcher Molina gives him an outstanding defensive catcher, but Posada is certainly the better offensive player.
Molina is a tremendous game caller as well. All of the Molina brothers, as a matter of fact, are really good catchers.
Tried to squeeze that one back into the strike zone. Not so. There is Posada getting the night off. One ball, 1 strike on Polanco. 2 for 4 last night. Couple of doubles. Placido now has hit safely in 15 of his last 18, and Jim Leland was talking about him before the game about how even on days where Placido might struggle at the plate, you feel good about his at-bats because he's always grinding out at-bats every single day, has his routine and stays with it.
Here are a couple of those doubles that he hit in last night's game. One to left field, one to left center field. Also, the thing about Polanco is he brings his glove with him every single night as well, Mario. So if he's not hitting, he's playing that other side of the baseball, which is always a beautiful thing.
Yeah, Leland said last night that double play they turned in the 9th inning, there are some second basemen that would not have turned that play last night. There's that hook, and this time he drops it in for strike 3.
Locked up his bowels on that one.
His what?
Bowels.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Just wanted to make sure.
Knee buckler. Check it out. Knuckle curveball. You see the index finger on the baseball, and that's a beauty.
So a couple of strikeouts. One on a fastball, the other on a breaking ball for Hughes. Ordonez takes a hack at the first pitch and fouls it away. Maglio had the big blow last night. It was a home run that turned out to be the difference. His only hit last night. Couple of homers this year. He also hit one a mile in Kansas City on the last road trip. A little bit low and outside. It's lifted back out of play. His home run last night just barely made it out.
I thought on the first look that we had that Swisher knocked it over, but he didn't. He never got glove on it.
Off the top of the fence and over the fence. 2-2 on Maglio Ordonez. Tigers came in 3 over the 500 mark at 11-8. Here's the 2-2. Ordonez, before this season is over, is going to get near 2,000 career hits. He needs 151 to get there. There's Cabrera waiting on deck. Again, the 2-2 pitch. Breaking ball is hammered to third. Diving stop by Pena. To his feet. He throws him out. A nifty play by Ramiro Pena. Takes a double away from Maglio. Some good defense. To you by Comerica Bank, standing the test of time since 1849. Your Motor City Dodge dealers. Keep in touch with Mom this Mother's Day with Comcast high-speed internet. And by Arby's Bacon Cheddar Roast Burger Sandwich. Try it today. It'll have you saying, I'm thinking Arby's. Here we go to the second. It'll be Hideki Matsui to lead it off.
Mother's Day is coming up here real soon, isn't it?
I think we're on the road. It's next week.
It's next week?
Yep. We're in Cleveland, I think. When are we in Cleveland? That's drilled in the air. Left field, but straight at Josh Anderson. One gone.
I believe we're in Cleveland on the 8th, 9th, and 10th.
Yeah, that's when it is. So order your flowers now. Get any gifts you want to buy because
got to take care of Mom.
Yep, sure do. Let's see, that is everything in the air so far off of Jackson here, all 4 outs. Here's Robinson Cano. Nobody's been able to slow this guy down. 2 more hits last night.
He's got some kind of sweet swing. He reminds me a lot of Rod Carew.
That's heavy praise.
I know Rod Carew won a lot of batting titles, but this young man just kind of reminds me of Carew when standing in the batter's box, and the sweet swing. And, you know, obviously Carew had several different stances. And as a matter of fact, Cano kind of changed his stance from last year to this year.
Well, last year he was batting 151 in the month of April.
Got off to a real bad start. As a matter of fact, he was in the doghouse. I guess 154 gets you in the doghouse.
On most nights it will, yeah.
That hurt too. Talking to Ramon Santiago about Cano yesterday, and Cano said he works out. Excuse me, Santiago said he works out with Cano in the offseason in the Dominican Republic, along with a lot of other Dominican players, and he said they all run on the beach. He said Big Papi's part of that group. Edison Volquez part of that group. He named off a lot of really good players.
You know who else also does that in Puerto Rico? The Molina brothers.
Run on the beach?
Yep, they run on the beach to build the leg muscles and endurance.
How about the speed?
No, that is one thing that you will not find with the Molina brothers. Speed. No, that doesn't work. It's typically like they are running in sand on the baseball field. They are some of the slowest brothers, but they're very talented. We all have our talents.
Check out Cano, a little tap for Darryl Cousins, home plate umpire. I noticed he did that last night with the home plate umpire as well. Jim Joyce kind of tapped him on the knee and said, have a good game.
And give me those close calls. That's popped up. There's another ball hit in the air. Shallow left field. Everett back. Anderson in. Everett made the tougher play. 2 gone.
And if Anderson could do it all over again, he probably would call off Everett on that play. Much easier play for the left fielder than the shortstop. Jackson usually gets lots of ground balls, but today, all of his outs made in the air.
Yeah, all 5. Although the one that Jeter hit was a rocket line drive that Everett made a leaping play on. Here's Swisher. A little bit low and outside. 1-0 on Nick Swisher.
Jackson throws a nice, easy 95. It's effortless.
That's on the ground to first. There's your first ground ball out. Cabrera handles this one. Yet another 1-2-3 inning for Edwin Jackson. So far, so good for the big right-hander. 4. The Tigers will have Miguel Cabrera leading it off, and the month of April typically is a good one in the career of Mr. Cabrera.
He's continued that in 2009. All of his numbers, for the most part, stack up with what he has done since coming to the major leagues.
Yeah, as good or if not better in some instances. And Cabrera takes a strike.
Batting average way up so far in the month of April this year.
It stands at 380 right now. He was 1 for 3, had an RBI single off CC Sabathia last night in his first at bat. Phil Hughes struck out a couple in the first. He got the Tigers 1-2-3. And apparently he's doing in this game what he did in his 3 starts in the minor leagues, and that's throw strikes, because he struck out 19 in 19 innings and walked only 3.
He's throwing a whole lot more fastballs than the Tigers were watching on that video before the game today.
The hook is hammered to left and a base hit. He hung up there for Cabrera, and he punished it.
Well, it's a hanging breaking ball, and Cabrera, when he's right, his upper body and his legs work together. And what I mean by that, he takes a stride, and then there's some separation with the hands that go back. You see the hands that go back, and then he pulls them in nicely. He doesn't crush that ball, but he gets enough of it to get it in between short and third. He's got powerful legs, and that's where the majority of his power comes from.
Well, the Tigers have their first hit, first base runner, and here's Carlos Guillen. We talked, Rod, about the fact that, that his Achilles is hurting him. How does that have an effect on you as a hitter?
Well, it has an effect on everything you do. I mean, not just hit, but walk, and it's tough to play with that, because I don't know about Carlos, but I know I had a problem with my Achilles once, and I was afraid to do anything because I was afraid I was going to pop it.
Here's the 0-1, runner going, and it's a bouncing ball hit to second base. They'll stay out of the double play. 1 out.
How about that? Don't know for sure. Yes, maybe I do know for sure, because Cabrera's not going to steal a whole lot of bases. No. So apparently Leland, in a very aggressive managerial mood, and a lot of times the base runner will tell you, if he's looking in, a lot of times it's a hit and run. If you see a guy with his head down and beelining toward second base, usually that's a straight steal. But Jim put the hit and run on at an 0-1 count.
Very unconventional sometimes. Doesn't really follow baseball rules in terms of when he'll use that hit and run.
The way that he has been managing this year, even if you are scouting here as one of the advanced scouts that are watching the Tigers before your team plays them, there's no rhyme or reason to what Jim's been doing. He's squeezing, he's hitting and running with different guys. Certain guys are sacrificing. He's managing very aggressive this year, more aggressively than I think he's managed in his prior 3 years as a Tigers manager.
I would agree with that. There's been less of a pattern this year. There's a strike called. The second baseman, Cano, was sneaking in behind the runner and was out of position defensively.
Well, that's what you have to do as a pitcher. You have to know what your second baseman's doing, and if he breaks toward the bag like that, you've got to step off the rubber.
The 1-1 is in there for a strike. Gerald Laird is batting .320.
So far, Hughes is moving the ball around the strike zone. He's got pretty good control. Inside fastball, cutters away to the right-handers. Also that knuckle curveball.
There it is, but it missed inside. He thought he had him there.
Also has a changeup, but doesn't throw many changeups. Nice quiet frame job by Molina to catch it. He made sure he gave Darryl Cousins, the home plate umpire, a nice long look at it.
Again, same pitch. This one missed way inside. 3-2. We did not have a walk in the ball game last night. Hughes is flirting with one here. 3-2 pitch. Ooh, he chased one out of the strike zone. Third strikeout of the game now for Hughes.
Hey fans, this Saturday the Tigers will be featured on Fox Saturday Baseball as Miguel Cabrera leads Detroit against Grady Sizemore and the Indians in a showdown between Central Division rivals. Coverage begins at a special time of 3:30, right after This Week in Baseball on your local Fox station.
Tigers in Tribe for the first time this year. A couple of Central Division opponents. We'll have the first one for you on Friday here. Here's Brandon Inge. Inge has been on base in 19 straight to start the year and batting a solid .328. His power numbers have been outstanding.
Last couple of years, the games between the Indians have been pretty intense. Nice little rivalry building amongst the two cities.
It's good to finally see that again for as close geographically as the two towns are. 2-0 on Brandon. Good hitter's count here with a man in scoring position. Fastball is lifted in the air. Right field. Hit it off the end of the bat. Swisher is under it. Side retired. Tigers get a man to second base. No farther though. We played 2. Still no score. By Bell Tire. Trust us, we'll make you happy you came in. That's a promise. By Buick Pontiac GMC. See your Metro Detroit dealer today. And by Aflac. We've got you under our wing. Back here at Comerica Park, where the Tigers and the Yankees are scoreless. This game is available in crystal clear, high definition on Fox Sports Detroit HD, sponsored by Comcast. Edwin Jackson back to the hill. 6 up, 6 down so far against the Tigers right-hander. Melky Cabrera moves up in the box and slaps one foul. 0-1.
Man, Yankees a lot more aggressive tonight against Jackson than they were against Verlander last night. You're realizing that Jackson has thrown lots of fastballs in his first 4 starts of the year.
Fastball missing up. Cabrera, Molina, and then Pena. 7, 8, 9, and Joe Girardi's lineup tonight. Melky last year hit 8 home runs, knocked in 37. 2-1. Good pitch right on the outer edge. Not a whole lot he was going to do with that with 94 on the gun.
And the key to that is that Cabrera knew he was going to get a fastball, 2-1, but the location was so good he couldn't pull the trigger.
Two and 2 on Melky Cabrera. He had some pretty good success against the Tigers. He has hit safely in 17 of his last 19 against Detroit. Had a hit in the ball game last night. And there's a rifle shot to right field. Another base hit for Cabrera. Leadoff man on. The Yankees have their first hit of the game. Now Jose Molina. Molina starting back-to-back games in this series. He's hitting .280. Spent a lot of years with the Angels, 7 seasons. In fact, got to play with his brother Benji with the Angels for a spell there in Anaheim.
They won a world championship together, didn't they?
They did indeed.
That's a pretty nice catcher's tandem.
Strike one.
And his younger brother, I believe, Yadier is the youngest, isn't he?
He is.
Of the St. Louis Cardinals.
He's a good player.
He also was a world champion with the St. Louis Cardinals at the Tigers' expense back in 2006.
Jackson paying some attention to Cabrera, who has one swipe this year, and he's been caught once. Molina showed bunt on the first pitch. There's a high fly ball into a shallow right field. Maglio coming toward the line. Well, there's another fly ball out for Edwin Jackson. One gone. 6 of his outs tonight have been in the air. Here is Ramiro Pena. And while most of the Yankees last night had all kinds of trouble against Verlander, Pena had a couple of singles against him.
A lot of times when you don't know the scouting report on a guy, and obviously Pena is new. You talked about the fact that he played in Double-A last year. It takes a little time before you know the strengths and the weaknesses of the hitter that you may be going up against.
Pena batting .235. While this Yankees lineup still has a lot of firepower and talent, the loss of Alex Rodriguez is certainly a big one. They're hoping to get him back by mid-May at the latest. Pena getting an opportunity to play. He's been at Double-A the last couple of years. The 0-1. It's foul down the first base line.
That's a big chunk to take out of your lineup. Alex Rodriguez. A guy that hits 300 every year, 40 home runs, 100 runs, 100 RBIs. Not only does he do a lot of damage, but the players around him also get lots of really good pitches to hit. He's always on base. Well, he's simply the best player in baseball.
Well, 11 straight seasons of over 100 RBIs for A-Rod. A lot of production. Jackson bluffing the runner back. Edwin has a victory against Seattle and a loss against the Angels this year. His 2 decisions, but came in with a 2.77 ERA. 1 ball, 2 strikes.
The Tampa Bay Rays, who Jackson pitched for last year, they played 6 series against the Yankees, 3 at home, 3 in New York. Guess how many of those series Jackson pitched in? All 6.
Is that right?
He had 6 starts against the Yankees last year. He was 1-3.
David Dombrowski pulled off a trade that bolstered the pitching by sending Matt Joyce over. It's hit to center field where it's Death Valley out there. Anderson handles it. Another fly ball out. 2 gone.
The Rays must have had a surplus of pitching depth, not only in the big leagues but in the minor leagues, to trade away a guy that won 14 games for you and led the staff in wins.
Well, Price and Neiman come to mind, but to trade away a guy with 14 victories, I mean, especially at how valuable pitching is these days in the big leagues.
With this kind of arm strength.
And it's not as if Jackson is 29, 30 years old. 25, still very young by baseball standards. Derek Jeter lined one sharply to the shortstop to start the game. He's 0 for 1. Jeter last night passed Mickey Mantle, the all-time at-bat leader in the history of the Yankees. 8,103 at-bats with his first at-bat last night. That is a lot of at-bats in one uniform.
Yes, it is.
8,000.
And it probably will be the only uniform that he ever wears. I see him as one of those guys that will not play for another team.
Yeah, that just wouldn't be right, I don't think. Wouldn't seem right. He's ahead 2-0. And now 3-0.
I had the privilege of coaching Derek Jeter back in '94. I was the batting coach in the Arizona Fall League for the Chandler Diamondbacks, and Jeter was the shortstop on that team. He had tremendous work ethic then, and he still has tremendous work ethic 15 years in the show.
Well, when you're a high round prospect, you know, obviously people predict a lot of great things for you. There's the stat to back up we were just talking about, passing Mickey Mantle. But at that time, did you think he could put together this type of career?
I really didn't know, because at that time he was being compared to Alex Rodriguez, and I also had a chance to watch Alex Rodriguez play that summer when I was coaching in A-ball, and I thought by watching A-Rod play that summer that he was head and shoulders above Jeter talent-wise.
Really?
But Jeter had that other intangible, that winning attitude.
That's to center field. It's going to drop a base hit. Motoring to third is Cabrera, and he is in there standing up.
Not that A-Rod doesn't have that winning attitude as well, but you could just tell that something was special about Jeter. I couldn't beat him to the ballpark. He worked the count here. He got a count in his favor. 3-1, good concentration, and laces a solid single into center field. Cabrera ran right in the face of Granderson, but Granderson would not have had a play on Cabrera. But I had the privilege that year of watching both players. A-Rod ended up in the big leagues that year at age 19. Jeter the next year.
And they've both been here since. That, by the way, was hit number 2,560 for Derek Jeter in his career. Johnny Damon now with a golden opportunity here with 2 outs. And Jackson misses, ball 1.
That's a good pitch right there, because Jackson had gotten into a pattern of throwing lots of first pitch fastballs, which is a good pitch when you throw 95, 96. But now there's a runner in scoring position and there's 2 outs. Why not try to get that cheap strike by throwing a breaking ball? Looked like he's throwing another one. He sure did. That's good game calling right there by Gerald Laird, because Jackson did not shake him off. Knapp's done a nice job, Mario, with his staff.
He really has. I mean, we talked about in the pregame show how he has preached throwing strikes, staying away from walks, and for the most part, the numbers indicate they've done a pretty good job of that here in the month of April. It's one thing to come in as a new pitching coach and preach a philosophy, but to have your guys go out and take it to the mound on a nightly basis, it's got to be rewarding. Still some work to be done, though, as Rick will tell you. There's a strike. There's some of the numbers we were talking about on the pregame.
Yeah, I heard you talking about this piece. And big difference there in walks. A lot less this year. Strikeouts are way up. They're pitching to a lot more contact.
That's why they've given up a few more home runs. That's just going to be a byproduct of hanging around the strike zone a little bit more. The 1-2 runner breaks from first, no throw, and it's now 2-2 on Damon, a stolen base for Derek Jeter.
It's okay for Derek to do that with Damon at the dish. No disrespect to Johnny Damon, but had Teixeira, who's on deck, been standing in the batter's box, that would have made it really easy for Jim Leland with that base open and 2 outs to just put him on base.
There's Teixeira lurking. Meanwhile, it's 2-2 on Damon, who flied to right field his first time up.
So he knows he's going to get something to hit.
And he flares this one toward left center field. Anderson is there to retire the side. Jackson pitches out of the jam by getting yet another fly ball out. We go to the bottom of the third now at Comerica Park, and Josh Anderson will lead it off. He'll be followed by Adam Everett, and then back up topside with Curtis Granderson. No runs, 2 hits for the visiting Yankees. No runs, 1 hit for the home team.
And word getting around quickly on Anderson, already being crowded at the corner infield positions by Teixeira and Pena because of the speed that he has. And also the middle infielders, they also know that if he hits a ground ball at them, they can take little time getting the ball over to first base. He'll beat it out.
It's popped up, heading back toward the seats. Pena gets there right against the railing. 1 gone.
There was a play earlier with Pena over toward the rail, a ball that hit his glove that he didn't catch. And I made the comment how quickly you have to get over there and then find the baseball. That's exactly what he did this time. He got over there, he got to the railing, and then he made the catch with the baseball.
One out for Adam Everett.
I was talking to Adam during batting practice yesterday, and I said, "You like hitting behind Anderson, don't you? You get lots of fastballs." He says, "You know what? I never thought of that, but I have been getting a lot of fastballs to hit lately."
That's because the guy on first base is a threat to steal.
He also said that Anderson apologized to him for stealing a base in one of those situations in Kansas City for whatever reason. And Everett said, "You don't have to apologize to me. I'd rather hit with you on second base than you on first base." He said, "Who wouldn't?"
It's interesting.
That's the kind of kid that Anderson is, though.
Yeah,
he said, "I'll leave that hole for you next time," is what he told Adam Everett. Of course, when there's a runner on first, the first baseman's holding him on, and usually the second baseman shading up the middle in a double play situation. So there's a big hole on the right side of the infield, and Anderson was a little upset that he had taken that hole away from Everett.
Well, he's a good teammate. He's a good guy, and it seems like this Tigers clubhouse is full of a lot of good teammates this year. Nice mix in terms of chemistry, although Jim Leland will never buy into the chemistry factor. If you win, you have good chemistry, is Leland's favorite line. Here's the 0-2 pitch. And there is a ball that apparently was a little bit low. That looked like a pretty good pitch. 1-2 on Adam Everett. Granderson will follow. Everett was 0 for 3 in the ball game last night. The 1-2 pitch. Everett has been a nice addition to this team. He's had 10 hits in his last 10 games. I think he's given the Tigers a little bit more offensively than maybe they had thought he would, at least to this point. That's chopped slowly and foul third base side. Just got a piece of that breaking ball that Hughes has thrown quite a bit tonight. Everett had some nice years over in the National League with Houston. And right now he's forcing the 8th pitch in this at bat, and a swing and a miss on the slow breaking ball. That is the 4th strikeout now for Hughes. Well, with Granderson coming up, Curtis says with Anderson in left field, it makes it a little bit easier for the Tigers center fielder.
I can cheat a little bit to the other side wherever he's at, and I know that he could pick me up a little bit on that gap side. So if I know he's in there, excuse me, and Maglio happens to be in left or in right, I'm sorry, then I'd say it a little bit to his side, and I'm comfortable that he can go ahead and pick me up on the other side.
Of course, Granderson is talking about the speed that Anderson brings to the dance in the outfield.
Josh covers a lot of ground on that left side, which certainly helps out the center fielder.
Granderson bunted for a base hit last night, and it was a big bunt against CC Sabathia, and he squared the bunt on that first pitch.
Well, I asked him again last night after the game. I saw him in the tunnel heading out to the parking lot. I said, well, what's the deal now? You get a bunt a little bit more? And he said, you know, I'd really like to, but it just in the back of his mind, if he doesn't get a bunt down or makes an out, he's always upset with himself, thinking, well, I probably should have swung the bat, because obviously he's so successful at doing that. But the one he had last night, nicely done.
It's a good idea. CC doesn't fall off violently toward the third base side, but he does fall off in that direction. And it was a great effort by Sabathia to shuffle that ball to Teixeira. They almost got the out. But that turned out to be a big play, because after that, Polanco comes with a huge base hit, and then Maglio homered in that same inning.
And there's ball 4. So the Tigers get a 2-out runner. Granderson is aboard.
So Granderson was headed to the parking lot the same time you were last night?
Yeah.
Did he shower?
His car was more expensive than mine, though. He's such a great kid. I mean, Granderson is he's truly a gem. We talk about it a lot, but he's such an affable personality. And the one thing he says, you know, they continue to crowd me at the corners, and that's another thing that kind of dissuades me from bunting all the time.
Yeah, he's a good kid. He gets it. And he realizes that he's a role model. And he just does a lot in any community that he's in.
Here's Placido Polanco.
You know, Bob Watson was the general manager of the USA World Baseball Classic team. And I remember reading a quote that he had said about Granderson. And he said, there is no World Baseball Classic USA team without Curtis Granderson. That's just how much he's done for baseball as an ambassador, traveling to different places, talking about baseball.
It's a great quote, and it certainly fits. Anderson drawing a couple of heavy looks here from Hughes. We told you last night that Molina throws out at a really good percentage. Last year at 43%.
Which means Curtis is going to have to get a great jump if he's going to steal a base. with Molina back there.
One ball, no strikes on Placido Polanco, who struck out back in the first. Thought about it. 2-0.
You know, Joe Girardi has the luxury of having a former outstanding catcher on his staff, the bench coach Tony Pena. And apparently Pena handles the running game for Joe Girardi. He's the one that gives the sign to Molina as to what they want to do with the base runner. It's a nice luxury to have.
Which allows Girardi to concentrate on other things.
Two former big league catchers. And Girardi caught in the big leagues, and so did Pena. There's lots of catchers in the major leagues as managers these days. Of course, Leland caught in the minor leagues.
Pena played for a long time.
If there was a count to run on, and this may be the count, and 2 gone, you know, if it's a strike, Polanco's going to at least foul it off. And of course, if Hughes throws a ball, it's ball 4, so you don't have to get a great jump.
Runner goes, and it's drilled in the air, high toward left field. Damon is going to have room to the warning track. Side retired. Tigers get a 2-out walk, strand 1, and we go to the 4th. We're both off the same pitcher. Can you name him?
Great question.
I have no idea.
No shot.
Nope. I mean, I can start guessing guys until we got it, but that might keep us here up till tomorrow morning. Here's Mark Teixeira to lead it off. And he looks at a strike from Edwin Jackson.
This much we do know. It's a former Tiger.
Oh, we do know that.
I would bet it is.
Yeah. Oh, because of the tie-in? I see what you're saying. Okay, well, let's start naming former Tigers. I'll go with, let me think about it, Denny McClain.
It's a good guess.
1-2 on Teixeira. Matsui and then Cano to follow. The Yankees had a scoring chance in the third. They got runners to second and third with 2 outs, but Damon flied out. Jackson's 1-2.
They knew that Teixeira was a slow starter when they signed him, because he has been that since coming to the major leagues. But they also felt with Alex Rodriguez in their everyday lineup, then that would take some pressure off Teixeira, which would allow him to get off to a better start. But it really hasn't been that way. This much we do know: he will hit.
He rolls this one to first base, and Cabrera handles it with no trouble. One out. Well, now you can follow Fox Sports Detroit on Twitter and become our fan on Facebook. It's easy and it's free. Simply search Fox Sports Detroit on either site and become part of our social network community. That's Fox Sports Detroit, available on Twitter and Facebook.
Are you handling the tweeting for us?
I'm tweeting as we speak. No, I'm kidding. You can handle the tweeting tonight.
I think I'm gonna get me one of those.
Well, it's not actually a those. It's
them.
It's not a device. It's a concept.
A what? What is it?
We'll go over this after the game tonight.
It's got to be one of those. I know it's popular.
It is popular. Everybody's doing it.
Just when I learned how to text.
Oh, you're way behind. Texting's old school now.
I know now. I'm always. I just got rid of my beeper.
You did not.
I did.
Still have a rotary phone? Here's Matsui. Fly to left field back in the second. He's 0 for 1. Jackson's 2-1 pitch. Hi, Papa. Who wants it? Cabrera is calling for it. 2 outs. Everything continues, or most everything continues to be in the air tonight for Jackson.
He's got that overpowering fastball as we look at the pitch count. And most of the Yankee hitters have been a little tardy on it. He's thrown 54 pitches total. And strikes to balls ratio is really good, as it has been in his prior 4 starts. But I've been awfully impressed with Jackson.
He's got really good mound presence and good stuff. And there was always, Rod, that thought that he just was going to walk too many because his walks were high in Tampa. Yet that really hasn't been too much of an issue here.
No, it really hasn't. I think he had 1 start where he walked 3 people, but that's been the high so far.
Whistled foul down the left field line, 0-2.
Got a good athletic body on him. And really, for the most part, has only thrown 2 pitches this year: the fastball and the slider. Very few changeups. Working both sides of the plate at the knees. Been awfully good. That's what I'm talking about. You saw layered motion with the glove. He wanted that pitch down, and Jackson threw it right where he wanted it. Also, Laird knew, because he asked for it down, that he had to block it with 2 strikes.
Not going to stay fair. Nope, it's going to go foul. 1-2 on Cano. 14-game hit streak right now for Robinson Cano. 9 multiple hit games already this year.
Don't know exactly what they'll do to him here with 2 strikes, but they really got him set up for a good firm fastball around the letters after a couple of breaking balls at the bottom of the strike zone. It's not a bad idea to change his eye level. And even if he doesn't swing at it, you can come back with the breaking ball after this pitch. They're going fastball too. Get it up a little bit.
He did.
That's how good he is, Cano, right now. Most guys swing right through that. But he does enough just to foul it off, because he really can't do a whole lot of damage with it.
We just got a piece of that one to stay alive.
Just throw it down the middle and let him hit it at somebody.
Exactly. In the last 3 years, there's only been one player that has played more games to second base than Cano, and that's Brian Robertson of the Orioles. This guy's been out there just about every day. This year, though, his numbers offensively skyrocketing early on. The 1-2 pitch. Fouled away, another one at 97 up there. And Edwin can't put him away. There's a difference we were talking about. 158 a year ago today. 380. What's up with his helmet? Looks like somebody threw it through a wood chipper. 2 balls, 2 strikes. It's all beat up.
It is.
It's only April. It's turned into a pretty good at bat here for Cano. He's battling. 2 out, nobody on. It's the 9th pitch in this at bat coming up. And here it is. Breaking ball fouls off another one. This is where pitchers start to become a little bit frustrated now. It's going to be the 10th pitch. Jackson throwing everything he has at it. And another foul back out of play.
Ten pitches so far in this at bat. And now Laird is like, dude, what do you want to throw? I'm tired of trying to figure it out.
Well, then it's not like Edwin can reach back and just throw it by him, apparently. He is fouled off 97 miles an hour. Tried one more time here. Cano trying to keep it going for Swisher. Again, the 2-2. And that's low. 3 balls, 2 strikes. There's Swisher waiting on deck. Three and 2 on Robinson Cano. And a bouncing ball to short. Oh, Everett falls down and has no play.
That ball took a wicked hop on Everett. As soon as he was approaching this ground ball, it just took a wicked hop to his left. He was able to glove it, but he wasn't able to get up and make a play. Stumbled after he gloved it. Take a look at this thing. Right about there. Wicked hop. Couldn't gather himself.
So after all of that, Cano gets a bad hop single.
15-game hitting streak now for Cano.
2 out base runner. That'll bring up Swisher. And it prolongs the inning now for Jackson. 3rd hit of the game for the Yankees. The Tigers at this point have only 1. Swisher is 0 for 1.
The Yankees can really drive that pitch count up, can't they? Even when they're not getting lots of base hits and driving in lots of runs, they still make that starting pitcher work awfully hard out there every night.
Yeah, on a nightly basis, literally. That is pulled foul. 1 ball and 1 strike on Swisher. And for Jackson now, it started out as a routine inning, but 25 pitches. Swisher has good power. He's hit 4 home runs this year. And he takes high. That's a pretty good success against Jackson in his career as well. .333, a couple of homers.
That's probably why Jackson started him off with back-to-back breaking balls before elevating that fastball, and he'll probably come back with a breaking ball to get him out.
Three and one. It's funny how a routine inning against these guys can turn into a nearly 30 pitch inning. Melky Cabrera waiting on deck. Fouled back out of play. Inge giving a look. Not going to have room.
On balls hit down the left field line, and balls similar to that one right there. If you're Inge and Anderson, you can't give up on them because there's a lot of wind up at the top of the stadium that's blowing that ball back into foul territory. See those flags blowing toward right field.
That wind does not affect pause at all, though. 3-2 on Swisher. Last night, I think the wind was blowing the other way.
It was.
See, third 3-2 count here in this inning. With the runner going, there's ball four. So a single and a walk. And Jackson needs a blow right now. This is his first walk. It's going to bring the pitching coach Rick Knapp out.
Hey fans, there's nothing better than Tigers baseball and hot dogs for select games in May. The Tigers All-American deal gets you an upper box ticket, hot dog, and a soft drink for only $22. Call 866-66-TIGER or visit tigers.com for the All-American deal.
Rick Knapp out just trying to get Jackson back on track here, give him a little bit of a blow.
And the way that Jackson is pitching tonight against the Yankees is pretty much how his 6 starts last year against them went. And we told you the record was 1-3 against New York. The earned run average was over 5. But they saw a lot of pitches against him.
So here is Melky Cabrera, who's singled back in the third. Again, another scoring opportunity with 2 outs for the Yankees. And strike one is in there to Cabrera. Jackson threw 104 pitches in his last start, the first time he had gone over the 100 mark, and that was in 5 innings against the Angels. Yet another team that will make you work. Fouling pitches off. There's Rick Knapp writing some more notes down. 0-2 on Melky Cabrera. Wouldn't chase the fastball up. 1-2.
One thing the Yankees team as a whole has not been very good at this year, and that's hitting with runners in scoring position.
Swing and a miss. They fail again. It took a while, but Jackson pitches out of the inning, and the Yankees strand 2. Mantle had 8,102 at bats, 536 homers. His last AB and home run were both off the same pitcher. Can you name him? And the answer is Jim Lonborg.
In 68. No chance.
Nope, zero. Your theory about it being a Tiger, that didn't happen. We were concentrating on Tigers.
Yeah.
Well, Lonborg was the answer. He won Cy Young in '67. It's popped up off the bat of Maglio Ordonez. Foul ground to Teixeira, drifting. 1 out. Hughes done a pretty good job tonight of keeping Tigers hitters off balance here.
Throwing a lot more fastballs, I think, than they anticipated. And last time they saw him, which was last year, Hughes was in love with that knuckle curveball, and it's a good pitch for him. But it's a lot better pitch for him if he's locating his fastball the way he has tonight. And also that cut fastball he's now using has also been an effective pitch for him.
Here's Cabrera.
That's that cutter.
1 for 1 with a base hit back in the second. Only Tigers hit tonight belongs to Cabrera. Did he get hit? Sure did, right in the hand. And on a cold, chilly, frigid night like tonight, Cabrera real happy about that. Here comes Kevin Rand, the head athletic trainer, to take a look at Miguel. Let's see where it got him. The wrist. Here's Exmo, it'll tell us. Ooh, right there. Right on the wristband. So Cabrera will continue. Tigers have another base runner. Cabby taking his time getting down there. Guillen is 0 for 1 with a ground ball. And strike one on Carlos. Phil Hughes was the Yankees' #1 pick in the '04 draft. They selected him out of high school, Santa Ana, California. He was primarily a third baseman until he started pitching in his sophomore year of high school and threw a perfect game in high school. Highly touted prospect. And they say, as the story goes, that Hughes was throwing in the 90s when he was in high school. He's out of Mission Viejo.
He does not look like he weighs 240 pounds.
Yeah, that seems a little beefy for him. The 1-1. He's only 22 years old. He opened the season last year as the youngest pitcher in the majors, something that Rick Porcello has done this year with the Tigers.
Speaking of Porcello, he gets the ball tomorrow night for the Tigers against Jabba Chamberlain.
Another intriguing matchup. That's line to left field, base hit. Carlos goes the other way, and the Tigers are in business now with 1 out here in the 4th. That's good to see for Guillen, who really has been struggling. He was 0 for 12.
This was a pretty swing by Guillen. And this is what you need to do against guys that have good fastballs at the bottom of the strike zone. You can't try to pull the ball, because if you pull it, you're going to hit a ground ball to second base. So you stay inside it with your hands and you slice it the other way. This is a beautiful piece of hitting by Carlos.
Here's Laird, who struck out back in the second. Hughes in this game has struck out 4 Tigers. He's walked 1. He has hit 1.
The previous times the Tigers have had a runner on second base, Hughes went to his breaking ball. That time he went to his changeup.
Gerald has 5 RBIs this year, hitless so far in this series. Only the second Tigers hit in this game, the single here by Guillen. The 0-1. That time he wouldn't chase it. It's the same pitch that he struck Laird out with back in the second, something out of the strike zone.
And there's a runner in scoring position. Molina behind the plate. And it really takes charge. Really does not give in. Does not give you a whole lot to hit.
Fouled away.
He didn't like that last pitch. And he's going to go out and talk to Hughes about it. They got away with 1. That's what good catchers will do. Obviously, he called for the pitch that Hughes threw, but he did not like the location. Let's look and see where the location was. Right down the middle. He did not like it.
Laird had a good pitch to hit there.
He jumped up and sprinted out to the mound. Well, maybe not quite sprint, but he went out there.
That might have been a sprint for.
What does he have on his fingers? I mean, is it? It's not fingernail polish. I don't think I've seen whatever he is. It chalk? Well, no idea what it is, but it's something that helps the pitcher see.
Little Tapper back to the mound. He'll fire to second one. Here comes the relay. Safe. Laird beat out the return throw. He's aboard in the fielder's choice. 2 gone.
I was kind of surprised Hughes went to second base on that. But apparently they understand that Guillen's not running all that well.
Inning is still alive, and then that'll bring up Brandon Inge. Inge 0 for 1 with a fly ball. Trying to put the Tigers on the board and break the scoreless tie. He's got Cabrera at third. Ball 1. A lot of Inge's success this year at the plate can be traced back to the work he has done with Lloyd McClendon, but Brandon has also said that he's kind of had a makeover mentally in the mental part of the game as well that has really served him well.
That's just as important as the physical aspect.
That's low. We've seen really Brandon come out of the gates better than I think I've ever seen him come out. He almost hit another home run last night off Sabathia.
He's got himself a real nice count to hit in here. And that's why Brandon has done so well this year with runners in scoring position. He's always in good hitters' counts.
Rolled that one foul.
Well, this is how well Brandon is doing in the American League as far as where he ranks. Home runs, slugging percentage, RBIs, on base percentage, all the important categories. Top 10.
He's been on base in every game so far this year. That's outside. 3 balls, 1 strike. So now Hughes, with Anderson waiting on deck, has fallen behind Inge.
I don't think he wants anything to do with Brandon.
And he lost him.
He didn't want anything to do with him. He'd rather pitch to the left-hander.
Well, another reminder that April in the D continues tomorrow. The Tigers and Yankees square off, final game of the series. Coverage begins at 6:30 with Tigers Live, followed by the game at 7. Tigers baseball presented by Bell Tire tomorrow night on Fox Sports Detroit and at high definition on Fox Sports Detroit HD. And there is your pitching matchup, Porcello and Jabba Chamberlain.
Jabba's walked quite a few people, 10 to be exact.
So here's Anderson now with the bases loaded. Four for 6 loaded.
Tigers this year as a team with the bases loaded have been tremendous. Best in baseball.
Ball 1.
And Hughes basically pitched around Brandon Inge to load the bases to pitch to Anderson. That's how good Brandon's going right now.
There's a ground ball hit slowly towards second. This will get him out of the jam. Cano throws him out, and both sides have had scoring opportunities tonight. Tigers leave him loaded. Side windows, we can do that. We are the factory. Back here at Comerica Park, Mario and Pemba, Rod Allen and Rod. So far, these two guys, Jackson and Hughes, have been somewhat methodical in this game, but they both have not given up any runs, kind of like last night. Some pretty good pitching again here tonight.
Well, both teams have been able to bend the starting pitchers out there, but they have not been able to break them. Jackson's already thrown 76 pitches in this game. He needs an easy pitch inning. Needs to get back in the dugout to allow his offense to somehow figure out what Hughes is doing.
Tigers left him loaded in that fourth inning. So we travel to the fifth, and Jackson back to work. Jose Molina, Ramiro Pena, and then Derek Jeter. It was a long fourth inning for Jackson after retiring the first two. They really made him work. And he's quickly ahead of Molina. 269 average this year. Hasn't homered. He's knocked in only one. And Jackson's 0-2.
And Jackson's one of those guys that can give you 115, 120 pitches if Jim and Knapp wanted to stretch him that far. As we told you earlier, he's not a maximum effort guy. A real easy 95 miles an hour with his fastball.
Got in on the hands of Molina that time, and he fouled it away. One and two. On the ground to the second baseman, routine for Polanco. One up, one away here in the fifth.
Jackson's been dealing, but he has not gotten a whole lot of strikeouts in this game, but he's done enough to keep the ball off of the barrel of the bat. Everything right in on the hands of a lot of these hitters in the ball game today. And a lot of them are left-handed, which gives you an idea of the explosiveness of the fastball. And then once you speed the bats up of the Yankees, then you slow them back down with breaking balls, and you get guys fooled and out in front swinging at some breaking balls.
Here's Ramiro Pena. He fly to center back in the third. Breaking ball is in, strike one.
He's done a lot of that today. First pitch breaking ball for strikes.
You notice how many changes he's thrown in this game?
Not many. Well, he's thrown a few changeups, but I think he's used his breaking ball a little bit more effectively than his changeup.
Now it's 0-2.
That's the one thing that Rick Knapp said that Jackson's going to have to start to do. He's going to have to start to utilize that changeup a little bit more, especially when you go up against left-handed lineups like the Yankees are running out there today against him.
Swing and a miss. Laird will complete the strikeout.
Nasty. Just nasty. Even nastier on Exmo.
Now, would that be filthy?
It would fall into that same category.
Because nasty's nasty, but filthy, that's maybe a step above. 2 outs. Here's Jeter. Derek 1 for 2, had a single and a steal back in the third. Jeter came into this ball game hitting .353 lifetime against Tigers pitching. And this is his 14th season in the big leagues. But there's one team that he just has enjoyed hitting against, and that is these Detroit Tigers. And that average is the highest among all active players. So this guy has been nemesis #1 against Detroit over the years.
Yeah, Tigers fans boo him when he comes to Comerica Park. But I think it's a respectful boo.
I think so. 3-0.
Derek Jeter grew up a New York Yankees fan because his grandmother was in New Jersey and he visited her every summer. And therefore started loving the Yankees. #1 draft choice by the New York Yankees out of high school. 6th pick in the country. However, his dad was a Tigers fan.
He went astray. That's popped up. There may be room here for Cabrera. No, he can't get it. There was room. And that will keep Jeter alive.
That is one of the tougher plays for the corner infielders. And the way that you make that play a little easier is you don't drift for the ball. You just kind of run to that spot where you think the ball is going to come down at, and then you make adjustments. You could see that Cabrera was drifting the entire way as he went after that baseball.
Three-two pitch. Got him. He went fishing. Jackson, another strikeout, his third of the game. 1, 2, 3, they go. You're watching Tigers baseball on Fox Sports Detroit. beer, be sure to grab some ice cold Corona or Corona Light, the perfect holiday for Mexico's favorite beer. Relax responsibly. Back here at Comerica Park, we go to the bottom of the 5th inning. Adam Everett, Curtis Granderson, Placido Polanco in a scoreless game. Pitching duel tonight. Only 5 hits. Hughes and Jackson hooking up. Everett struck out back in the 3rd. Phil Hughes had a jam going in the 4th, but pitched out of it. Tigers loaded the bases against him with 2 outs, but he got Anderson to ground out.
Hughes is finally pitching like the prospect they thought that he would be. He has pitched a really good game against a good offense, an offense that loves to hit here at Comerica Park.
The 0-2. Good pitch, breaking ball. And he strikes him out for the 2nd time. That's 5 strikeouts for Phil Hughes, who's looked really good tonight.
It's that knuckle curve. You can see the index finger inside the glove on the baseball, and it's a dandy.
Here's Granderson. Curtis has a strikeout and a walk in this game. 2-0 the count. Because Hughes really doesn't have a whole lot of big league experience, most of these Tigers don't have a whole lot of at-bats against him. That's flared foul back out of play. Had a long track record against Hughes. Granderson, though, coming in was 3 for 4 against him with a couple of home runs. Here's the 2-1. Pulled and caught by the second baseman, Cano. 2 outs. Bring up Placido Polanco. It's funny that Hughes ends up in a New York uniform. He grew up a Red Sox fan. His father was from New England. And they would make visits to Fenway Park quite a bit, even though he grew up in Southern California. And here he is wearing Yankees colors. That might be the most bitter rivalry in baseball. Although the Cubs Cardinals is up there. Giants Dodgers maybe.
I think you nailed it. I think the Yankees-Boston rivalry is probably #1 in all the sports.
Yeah, I'd go with that. The 0-1 pitch. Ooh, it's a strike called, and he had Polanco dancing out of the way.
Polanco thought that ball was going to hit him. The second wicked curveball that he's thrown to Polanco. I'm telling you, though, what gets that call to strike is the quiet glove by Molina behind the plate.
On the ground to 3rd. Pena across the diamond. And a 1-2-3 inning for Phil Hughes. 5 in the books as we travel to the 6th. Still looking for our first run.
Derek Jeter to end that fifth inning. We told you Jeter with outstanding numbers against Jackson. So first and foremost, he tries to get him to chase something out of the strike zone. Counts goes 3-0. He takes a swing at the 3-1 pitch around the belt buckle. Then he climbs the ladder a little higher to get the strikeout. And he got a real tough hitter. Jeter came in with a .417 career batting average against Jackson. It's our Bell Tire pitch by pitch.
Nicely done. Here's Johnny Damon to lead it off. It'll be Damon, then Teixeira and Matsui. We're in the sixth inning, still no score. These two teams playing a 3-game set. The 0-2 pitch is high, 1-2.
Runs hard to come by tonight. And really last night's game was a good baseball game.
Yeah, there's really only one big inning, and that was the Tiger 3-run sixth.
The Yankees scored a couple of runs late off Fernando Rodney, but could do nothing against Verlander and Bobby C. CeCe had his A game going last night too. But against the Tigers, his last 5 starts, the Tigers have not taken it easy on the big fella.
Rolled slowly toward first. Cabrera gets Damon, 1 gone. By the way, in the parking lot last night, again, the garage, CeCe was walking through.
You looked up at him.
That might be one of the largest human beings I've ever seen in my life.
He's a big fella.
He is a big, big boy.
He's a big boy. Karsten Charles Sabathia.
What a talent.
Yeah, he's special. As I said, on most nights, the stuff he had would get his team a win. Complete game last night for him as well.
That's right.
Yeah.
Here's Mark Teixeira. Teixeira is 0 for 2. The Yankees, by the way, have scored in just 1 of the 14 innings so far in the series. That's how good Tigers pitching has been. They only got to Rodney in the 9th last night. That was it. Foul back out of play. Teixeira playing the position that one of his idols used to play in the same city, Don Mattingly. First base for the Yankees.
Donnie Baseball?
Donnie Baseball. Even though Teixeira grew up in the Baltimore area in Maryland, he for some reason was just a Mattingly fanatic, and he would go to Orioles games at Camden Yards wearing a Mattingly jersey. And got some sideways looks from the Orioles fans. Here's the 1-2. A little bit outside. Robertson, the lefty, Lyon, the righty. Tigers got some reinforcement for that bullpen, by the way, today. They made a move before the game. The 2-2. 3 balls and 2 strikes. Looks like Clay Rapata has joined the team. And with a slew of lefties that are coming up facing the Tigers, Jeff Larish was sent down for the time being. I don't know how long that's going to be, but they've added another lefty to take a little bit of the stress off of Bobby C down there, who's been used quite a bit.
Not only does it take a little stress off of Bobby C.
It's popped up. Polanco back to the grass.
But also the Tigers have the Cleveland Indians coming up, and they've got Grady Sauersmar, they've got Hafner, they've got Chu, who also hits from the left side, and also he can turn Victor Martinez around to the right side where he's not as good as he is hitting left-handed. Then you've got the Minnesota Twins after that, and that's Morneau and Kubel, and Mauer might be back. So I think the move was made also for that fact too. You can neutralize some of those big power left-handed bats the Tigers will see after the Yankees leave town.
Here is Matsui. He tried to hold up. He did not. Jim Joyce says strike. Well, you speak of those left-handed bats, and you speak of teams that are within the Tigers division, so it's going to get interesting. The Tigers on the rest of this homestand.
Although those right-handers the Tigers have in their bullpen, Perry, Zumaya, and Rodney, they can overpower some left-handers, even though they're right-handers.
Two and two.
What's Comcast telling us about the velocity that Jackson has featured in the game tonight? 97 miles an hour, an easy 97. And he's gone as low as 71 miles per hour with a changeup.
He's trying to give him 6 scoreless here. He's thrown 105 pitches. 3 and 2. Six scoreless on most nights, with the way the Tigers bullpen has been pitching, would set up very nicely. 3 and 2 on Hideki Matsui. Lifted high in the air, deep into right center field. Maglio on the run, still going back. Curtis Granderson cuts in front and drops it. He got his glove on the ball. Matsui will head to third, and he is in there standing up.
I'm just glad there wasn't a collision out there.
Look at Curtis cover some ground. He came out of nowhere and cut right in front of Maglio. The two are talking about it now.
That's a tough play right there, because really the crowd is yelling, so neither player can really call it. Neither player knows that they're going to get there. Therefore, they can't call each other out by waving the hand up there. And I'm just glad they didn't run into each other. It looked like Maglio was starting to call the ball very, very late, and Curtis could not.
Fortunately, that ball was hit to the deepest part of the park out there in right center.
Now they're going to talk about it. That's one of the things that you will see if you go to a big league ballpark and the crowd is rather loud. You'll see when the ball goes up in between left center field or right center field, you'll see the outfielders motion with their hand. It's easier to motion with your hand, telling the other outfielder that you're going to catch it, versus trying to verbally call it, because they can't hear you because it's so loud in the stadium.
Well, they've ruled it a triple, and so now Jackson will have to get another hitter. It's Robinson Cano.
Might as well walk him. I know Jim went out there to talk about it a little bit to see exactly how they wanted to go after Cano, and with the base open and 2 outs, but it appears they're going to pitch to him. But I'd be shocked if they really give him anything to hit.
Ball 1.
As hot as he is.
Single and 2 at bats.
Although he, like most of the Yankee players, had his trouble with runners in scoring position this year. Hitting just 192 is Cano.
He had that wicked hop ground ball that he hit to the shortstop Everett in his last at bat.
Yeah, that was an 11 pitch at bat.
Well, now it's 1 and 2. Let's see if Jackson just go ahead and finish him off.
Well, he's pitching to him, that's for sure. See the tight spin on that slider? It looks like a fastball to the hitter.
Crowd trying to give Jackson some help, and it's looped foul. "15-game hitting streak for Robinson Cano. He's been their hottest hitter. He came in at .380. Trying to drop a run on the board here after the 2-out triple by Matsui. Good block there by Laird. He kept the runner at third base, kept the ball in front of him.
Real good defender. Really good.
Here's the 2-2. Edwin now has thrown a season high in total pitches.
More than likely his last hitter, one way or another.
One more strike to get here on Robinson Cano. The 2-2 again. Fouled it away again. Appeared to be ball 3. Here's your pitch count, 114. Lyon, the right-hander. Robertson, the left-hander, still throwing. I'll tell you one thing, you come to a Yankees game here at the ballpark, you got a pretty good shot at a souvenir. All the foul balls these guys hit. Be interesting to see how many dozens of baseballs you've got to use against the Yankees or the Red Sox compared to other teams.
Cano's last at bat was 11 pitches. This is the 9th pitch right here from Jackson. 20 pitches his last 2 ABs. That'll drive your pitch count up. You can't let him beat you, though, that's for sure.
3-2.
He is arguably their hottest hitter right now.
Swisher would be next. And he is a switch hitter. Three and 2. Swing and a miss. He struck him out. Cano is out. Wait a minute. No, they say he fouled it off. He fouled it off, and here comes Jim Leland. Now they're going to call him out. Oh, and here comes Joe Girardi. A reversal of call by Darrell Cousins after Laird showed him the baseball. And Girardi can't believe it. We'll sort this out and come back and look at it when we come back. Big strikeout for Jackson. Take another look at that last strikeout.
Apparently he did not foul it off. It's a nice block by Laird, but he was not called out until Laird tagged him.
And there you go. That's what it was. That's all Darrell Cousins was saying. Exmo doesn't lie. He clearly did not make contact.
It's almost like Laird asked Cousins, did he foul it off? And Cousins couldn't really say anything to him. And Laird, you could just kind of see the wheels turning.
Yep.
Well, let me tag him.
That's all he needed to do. Big strikeout there. This has the feeling of one of those games where someone's going to pop one out of here and may be the difference in the game. Ordonez, Cabrera, and Guillen here in the 6th. Maglio is 0 for 2. Pop up and a ground out. The 1-1. Breaking ball hammered on the ground. Foul.
Take a look at Cousins first, give the safe sign. But then watch Laird, the expression on his face. Look at Laird. Wheels turning. Okay. Oh, tagging. Now we got it.
Wheels turning. And it finally clicked in. Well, any way you slice it, that was huge.
Jackson went right after. Got one of your tougher outs in the American League so far this year in Cano. Jackson's got to be done, too. It'd be nice for the Tigers to score a run here, which would qualify him for a win.
Big swing and a miss by Maglio. He's out of there. One gone.
It's the 6th inning, and now it's time for the Coors Light Freeze Camp. We're going to take you all the way back to the 1st inning. As a matter of fact, it's the first pitch of the game. Line shot to Everett. He leaps, and he grabs it. Nice play. Coors Light Freeze Can brought to you by your Frost Brewed Coors Light.
The 6 strikeouts for Hughes ties a career high.
He has pitched a really good game here tonight at Comerica Park. He was hot in AAA. He was 3-0. And his earned run average was really good. But there were no Cabreras and no Ordonez and no Guillen and Polanco's and Granderson down in AAA. But so far, that really has not mattered to Hughes.
Another good breaking ball. That one nipped the outside corner, 1-1.
If he throws Cabrera a strike somewhere that he can really handle, he's going to crush it. He's a little upset after being hit in the right wrist the last time he was up. He's dialed in right now.
Singled in the 2nd, hit in the wrist in the 4th. Lines that one foul, back out of play.
Hughes has made few mistakes in the strike zone today. Everything has been on the corners. And that knuckle curve has been a really good pitch, too. Those are his AAA numbers that I was speaking of. 3 walks, 19 strikeouts.
And 19 1/3. Good numbers. Molina tried to, again, snatch that one back into the strike zone. Couldn't do it, though. 3-2. Or 3-2. Guillen waiting on deck. Hughes only 22 years old. The 3-2 pitch. Right back up the middle. Here comes Cano. Got plenty of time.
Good pitch. Good two-seam fastball that ran in the hands of Cabrera. Look at this ball in the late life one just run in on his hands. Wow.
So here is Carlos Guillen. Six hits between the two teams. That's it. Tigers have only 2 hits in this game. And they're both singles. Guillen has 1. Cabrera has the other. It has been pitching dominated tonight, although both teams have had some chances. Tigers left them loaded in the 4th. Meanwhile, the Yankees had runners at 2nd and 3rd, failed to score in the 3rd inning. 2 on in the 4th, and then the 2-out triple by Matsui in the 6th. Missed the inside corner. A little different look to the Tigers bullpen now. Ryan Perry warming up. So much for breaking him in slowly. He's been used in some late and some tight games. Leland not afraid to get him out there.
Well, Leland always says Dombrowski's going to give him somebody. He's going to use them, regardless of the age or experience.
Fouled away. Back amongst the crowd of tonight, 25,519. Chilly evening here at the ballpark. No rain, though. That was the good news. Good gathering here tonight with the Yankees in town. Three and two on Carlos Guillen. Ooh, who did that catch? The umpire?
Yeah, that got him on the left shoulder.
Man. Darrell Cousins, in his 30 years of umpiring, sure has had a few of those.
He's a trooper tonight, too. No sleeves on. Nicked him off that left shoulder. The rest of his umpires got gloves and bundled up. He got no sleeves on tonight. Does Cousins. They got gloves on, ski mask. Molina has really handled him in a nice way tonight. He has not shaken Molina off. He has allowed Molina to call this game. And he's done a very nice job. As a matter of fact, both catchers have done a very nice job at handling the starting pitchers tonight.
Three-two pitch on the way. High pop-up, left side. Pena and the left fielder Damon, and Damon makes the play. The Tigers go 1-2-3. So we are scoreless with Swisher, Cabrera, and Molina coming up. In this one, safe to say that Edwin Jackson tonight was dealing.
You know, the Yankees, they have quite a history against Jackson. As a matter of fact, 6 starts against the Yankees in 2008 alone. But he was able to overpower them with some fastballs. He had them popping up early in the game. And then he went to a really nasty breaking ball a little bit later on at the bottom of the strike zone and got himself a few strikeouts. He changed the eye level very well today. He worked in, he worked out, he worked down, he worked north of the strike zone. It's a real good effort for Jackson in this ball game against a Yankees team that has had success against him.
Yeah, good numbers for Edwin tonight. 6 innings, 4 hits, no runs. He struck out 4.
Usually with just 6 innings pitched and the other team has only got 4 hits and you've only walked 1, you're not well over 110 pitches.
Yeah.
I mean, usually 75, 80 pitches with those kind of numbers.
These are the Yankees. Wallside windows pitching change. Ryan Perry is in.
Well, he'll need to throw some strikes. He's walked 5 already this year in 6 1/3 innings, which is high for a guy that usually will pitch at the back end of a game for you.
He will face the 6, 7, and 8 hitters as we go to the 7th. It'll be Nick Swisher to lead it off.
As a matter of fact, that's the scouting report that most teams have on Perry as we speak, is the fact that every now and then he will get a little wild. So we'll see how the Yankees want to approach him.
Strike 1 on Swisher. He's 0 for 1. He has a base on balls. Those 2 at bats against Jackson.
You know, Swisher grew up in the Oakland Athletics organization, where they took a lot of pitches, worked a lot of counts. They preached on base percentage over there.
Swisher earlier this year actually pitched in a ball game. It was back on April 13th. He pitched in an inning against Tampa Bay. The Rays beat him 15-5. He also homered in that game, and he has started things off here in the 7th with an opposite field single. Leadoff man on.
I had a chance to play for Steve Swisher, Nick's dad, in AAA my last couple of years before I went to Japan. And they were 2 of my best years in AAA. Had a lot of fun playing for his dad. His dad was some kind of intense. Totally different personalities.
That single is just the 5th hit of the game now for the Yankees. 7 total for the 2 teams. Here's Cabrera.
Tiger's not sold out that he's up there bunting. That's why the quick step off there by Perry. He wanted to see if Cabrera was tipping, whether he was going to bunt or not. You look at Brandon Inge, he's in the starting position like he's getting ready to run a race toward home plate. Should Cabrera bunt in his direction?
Showed bunt.
Perry's a tough guy to bunt. He throws 96, 97 miles an hour. And on top of that, he's a little wild. I know I wouldn't be wanting to bunt against him.
We'll see if Cabrera comes back with a bunt. He does, but it missed outside. 2-0. And Jim Leyland marching out to the mound.
Well, he's got to calm the kid down. And when the other team is trying to give you an out, you have to take that out.
Wow, the shortest conversation that we've seen in a long time. Then again, throw a strike probably doesn't take too long to say. 2-0. The 2-0 pitch is outside. 3 balls, no strikes. Molina waiting on deck. Perry trying to avoid digging a hole here. He's taking, that's way outside. Single and a walk.
He was aiming those last 2 pitches, which is not good for him. Let's go ahead and let it go, young man.
Bullpen stirring again, and the same duo that was up earlier in the game. Lyon and Robertson beginning to throw. Now we'll see if Molina is up there to bunt.
He has none this year.
Oh, look out.
That's why I wouldn't want to bunt against him.
You talk about an uncomfortable at bat. 1-0. Laird quickly ran out to the mound and tried to settle Mr. Perry down.
You know, the Yankees don't sacrifice all that often. They have 4 sacrifice bunts as a team.
right down the middle. Best opportunity right there for Molina to lay one down. 1 ball, 1 strike. Seattle leads the league in sacrifices with 10. He'll try it again, and he lays this one down. Cabrera. Polanco covering. Sacrifice works. Runners advance.
That's a good job by Molina. Bunting against the guy throwing as hard as Perry's throwing and not necessarily having the best command. Also softens it perfectly down towards first base. Cabrera takes one look at third and thinks better of it. That was a nice job by Molina.
Looks like Posada has picked up a bat now with Pena due up. They're going to pinch hit for the number 9 hitter. We'll see if the Tigers can wiggle out of this jam here in the 7th with only 1 out. Runners at second and third.
Posada also pinch hit in last night's game. Battling a little bit of a tight hamstring is the word out of the Yankees clubhouse, as the reason why Molina has started both of these games behind the plate for New York.
And it was Posada that bounced into that huge double play in the 9th inning.
And Tigers not going to make it easy for Posada. They are playing the infield in.
Swing and a miss.
That looked uncomfortable.
It sure did. It looked painful.
Pinch hitting is one of the toughest things to do in all of baseball.
Swing and a miss. And Perry now ahead in the count 0-2.
Well, he just climbed the ladder with another one. Make the next one just a little bit higher. Jorge in that emergency stance.
Flared toward left. Anderson measures it. Runners will tag, and Anderson can't make the play. It'll get by him. Swisher scores. Cabrera right behind him. He's going to score. And Posada goes to second. And the Yankees lead 2-0.
That's too bad, because that was shaping up like it was going to be a fly out, and Swisher was going to tag up, and it looked like Anderson, with his arm strength that he has, would have had an opportunity to throw him out. But he's trying to measure it, and he's trying to get a running jump on it. He misjudged it, and then he reached down with 2 hands instead of reaching down with 1 hand and not able to get glove on it. Everybody went back to tag. Swisher was going to tag. And we've already seen Anderson this year make a couple of outstanding throws to home plate. He would have had a legitimate chance at throwing Swisher out. Just misjudged it.
Baroa is going to pinch run down there at second base. Sacrifice fly and an RBI ruled to get the first run in. And an error on Anderson to allow the second run to score. 2-0 Yankees. The 1-0. Ball down low to Jeter. What a break there for the Yankees. That really was shaping up if they wanted to send Swisher as a play at the plate, because that ball was not hit deep at all. Two and one. pretty good job by Posada as well to put the ball in play. I mean, he had swung and missed 2 pitches.
He didn't get the fastball high enough. 0-2. Should have climbed the ladder a little more. Easier said than done, though.
Inside, and now it's 3-1 on Derek Jeter.
Because Posada wasn't even close to the first 2 fastballs that Perry threw him.
Damon on deck. And there's ball 4. So the struggles continue for Ryan Perry. That is his 2nd walk in the inning. Skipper's going to come out to get him. And that's going to be it for the right-hander. So with Damon due up, Nate Robertson will be called in from the bullpen. We'll step aside. Pitching change here at Comerica. 2-0 Yankees.
Tomorrow night for only $10. And regular price $15 mezzanine seats for that game. And select games in May are now on sale for just $10. Call 866-66-TIGER or visit tigers.com. You can see the youngster Rick Porcello make his home debut in 2009 against Jabba Chamberlain.
Well, here's Nate Robertson coming out of the bullpen. The Yankees have broken through here with a 2-run 7th inning. An error by the left fielder Anderson has figured in the scoring here. And Robertson trying to put out the fire here. Johnny Damon is up there with only 1 out. Look out. That's whistled back toward the dugout. 0-1 on Damon. He is 0 for 3 tonight. 279 for the season, 7 RBIs. You know, thinking back to that play with Anderson, Rod, do you think they would have sent Swisher had he caught that ball?
Yeah, I do.
They were sending him all the way.
It looked like it. Yeah, he was going to be aggressive.
The 0-1 is a ball outside. 1 ball, 1 strike.
In a 0-0 game, I do think he was coming.
Little looper. It's going to be trouble. It's going to drop in. Base hit. Baroa rounding third. They're going to send him home. Granderson's throw to the plate. Not in time. It's an RBI single for Johnny Damon. It's 3-0 Yankees.
It's a breaking ball that is not a bad pitch. Damon reaches out and hits the ball with 1 hand. And Granderson comes up and makes a nice throw to home plate, but Baroa He's got pretty good speed. He hit that ball with one hand on the bat.
It's his 8th RBI. And now the dangerous Mark Teixeira, who is 0 for 3. That's now the 6th hit in the ball game for the Yankees.
You got to keep an eye on Jeter at second base.
It's driven in the air down the right field line, foul.
Even though Teixeira is standing in the batter's box. A great run producer. Derek Jeter's a great base runner and likes to steal third base. If they don't pay attention to him, he'll make it easier for Teixeira to get an RBI by stealing that bag. That's why Polanco had seconds in his back pocket right now.
Inside, spins him out of there.
Good pitch. Like to see him go back in there, though. Good four-seam fastball. Double up.
He does. And he popped him up.
I like it.
Inge will handle this one.
Great hitters like Teixeira. Once you go in aggressively with the 0-2 pitch, the last thing they're looking for, 1 and 2, is for you to go back in there again. They're looking away now. And he goes right back in there with a good four-seam fastball, and he crowds it. Even though he made a mistake up and over the plate, Teixeira still did not get to it.
Here's the 8th man to bat in the inning, Hideki Matsui, with 2 on and 2 out. Matsui had a triple in his last at bat in the 6th inning. Matsui was a prolific home run hitter in Japan. In fact, his final season in Japan, he hit 50.
They used to call him Godzilla.
1-1 pitch. He played for 10 years in Japan before coming over to the States, and 7 more years now here in the big leagues.
He's a good hitter. Left-handers don't really bother him either. He's been a really good hitter since putting on a Yankees uniform.
Laird with a good pickup, but now it's 3-1. There is some activity in the Yankees bullpen.
Been a lengthy sit down now for Phil Hughes, who has given them 6 superb innings. And Joe Girardi may not want to run him back out there because he's been sitting for about 15 minutes now.
It has been a lengthy half inning. 3-1 pitch, and it's about to get a little lengthier. Ripped to right center field. That'll get another run in. Granderson hustles it back in. Jeter will score on the play. It's a hit and an RBI for Matsui, and it's 4-0 Yankees.
I told you left-handers don't really bother Hideki Matsui, but it also helps if you're hitting 3-1, and you pretty much know you're going to get that fastball. And he got it, and it kind of stayed right over the heart of the dish. Put a really good swing on it. It's almost like that miscue in the outfield by Anderson is kind of giving the Yankees life here in the 7th inning.
It's opened the floodgates. They had only scored in 1 inning before this frame in this entire series. So pouring it on now, and here's Cano.
That's a better located pitch there by Robertson. It's a good breaking ball. He took a little bit off of it. Concentration was good, and he got it down and away from Cano.
9th man to bat in this inning. They hit around. Swisher on deck started the frame with a base hit off Perry. The 0-1 pitch. 0-2 now on Cano. Robertson replaced Perry, who replaced Jackson. Edwin was really good tonight, 6 scoreless. Inside, almost hit him. 1 ball, 2 strikes. "15-game hitting streak for Cano. He had a base hit back in the 4th. Here's the 1-2. Cleveland, for the most part, has watched his bullpen pitch good baseball this year. They've gotten to him a little bit here. There's a bouncing ball right side. It's going to bleed through into right field. Another run is in. Damon scores. And it is now a 5-0 ball game.
3 left-handed hitters have gotten base hits against Robertson in this inning. And really the only one that was hit hard was the one by Matsui. The one by Cano and also Johnny Damon, not hit hard at all, but they found holes.
Matsui makes it all the way to third base.
And the Yankees came in as the worst team in the American League with runners in scoring position, but that's gone up a tick here in the 7th.
With a 5 spot. Here's Swisher again. He started the inning off with a base hit. He's been on base twice tonight. Five runs on 4 hits in the inning, 1 error. Had a couple of walks. Swisher swinging out of his shoes there, 1-1. Swisher reached base in the first 17 straight that he played in this year, which hadn't been done by a Yankee in a long time. He had to go back to 1973 when Matty Alou did it.
One of the Alou brothers, huh?
Yeah. That's fouled off. 1-2. Swisher came up with Oakland, played in Chicago, and now here in New York. Robertson desperately trying to end this inning. It has been a long and prosperous inning for the Yankees. 5 runs. Two and 2. Phil Hughes tonight pretty much handcuffed the Tigers. Just a couple of hits. Low, 3 balls and 2 strikes. So with 2 outs, that'll start the runner at first base. Cabrera waiting on deck. He held up. Ball 4. So that's going to load the bases, and that's going to bring Jim Leland out. He's going to have to go back to the bullpen. Swisher walks, loading them up. Cabrera is due up. Brandon Lyon is coming in, and we will step aside. Still in the top of the 7th, 5-0 Yankees. Campfire Grill here at the ballpark, and the Yankees have broken a 0-0 tie with a 5 spot.
Looks like a nice little cozy spot.
Well, Ryan Perry didn't have it tonight here in this inning. Nate Robertson is bounced as well, and the Tigers go back to the bullpen and pluck out Brandon Lyon.
The 8th time that Lyon now has been in for Jim Leyland. He comes in with already 3 decisions. 1 up, 2 down. Earned run average acceptable.
The pitch. 1 ball, no strikes on Melky Cabrera. Here is Lyons 1-0. Fouled back out of play. This is the most runs the Tigers have allowed in an inning this year. It actually ties their season high, and they've done it twice previously. And Rick Knapp talks about staying away from those big innings, but they did it against his bullpen here tonight. The 1-1.
Seems like every hitter in this inning's either been 2-1 or 3-1. The Yankees have had a lot of predictable counts to hit in the 7th inning tonight.
And here's the 3-1. Full count. Cabrera had a walk earlier in this inning. He also has a single tonight. Molina waiting on deck. This one was controlled by the starters until this 5th inning when the Yankees got to the Tigers' pen. Runners going on 3-2, and it's fouled away.
A Tigers pen that has been really good this year. And very few times has Jim called on his guys in the bullpen, and they have not gotten the job done for him.
This is the 48th pitch of this inning coming up.
It feels like it.
Oh my goodness, he might get to 50. And there is ball 4 with the bases loaded to drive in another run, and Cabrera will get an RBI. Matsui scores. It is a 6-0 game. Just one of those nights. That'll bring up Molina. You were talking about that Tigers pen. They came in with an ERA of 3.81. There's a swing and a high drive deep into left field, way back. That is a grand slam home run. Jose Molina has put the capper on a huge inning for the Yankees. His first of the season is a slam. 10-0. Yikes. That about says it all right there. The look on Jim Leyland's face. One of those nights. A monster 7th inning for the Yankees. A 10 spot.
And Molina knew he was going to get a fastball from Brandon Lyon. Yeah, because there's already been 4 walks in the inning, and Lyon is known as a control guy. He got that first pitch fastball and clobbered it.
Second career grand slam for Jose Molina. Baroa getting his first at bat. He came on as a pinch runner and pulls a single into left.
It's amazing how one play can change the entire complexion of the game.
Yeah, you almost forget the play out in left field. It was so long ago. And if that ball is caught and you happen to double up the guy at the plate.
I mean, no disrespect to Anderson. He's done a very nice job in the first 3 weeks in a Tigers uniform. But as I said, that one play just changed the entire inning.
Here's Derek Jeter. He walked and scored earlier in the inning. I mean, this was a 0-0 game coming into this inning, and now the Yankees have 10 runs on 10 hits. The offense busting out for New York. Here's the 1-1.
This is the play that we were talking about. Runners on first and third. And a fly ball to left field, shallow. And it looked like Anderson just misjudged it. Nicked off the glove. 2 runs came around to score.
Well, that play certainly was huge, but the Tigers' pen just hadn't been able to stop the bleeding since.
That much is true.
There's a ground ball back up the middle. It should get him out of the inning. Polanco will throw to first, mercifully ending the inning. 10 runs in for the Yankees. We go to the stretch. The Yankees fans here, well, they're enjoying it. American Park for the first time. You can vote for your favorite Tigers. Miguel Cabrera's on that list, along with Adam Everett, Granderson, Guillen, Inge, Laird, Ordonez, and Polanco. And the stations will be located throughout the lower concourse until June 21st. Fans can also vote online at Tigers.com until July the 2nd. So get out there and vote for your favorite Tiger.
All-Star game this year in St. Louis, correct?
It is.
It's a great baseball town.
I'm sure they'll do a great job.
We get a chance to get to St. Louis this year.
Well, that says the story right there. 10-0 is our score. Mark Melancon is on now for New York.
8 of the 10 runs the Yankees scored in that inning were unearned.
Wow.
8 unearned runs.
So the Yankees trying to even up this series, drop a 10 spot on the Tigers. And Detroit in the 7th inning will have Laird, Inge, and Anderson. So the starter Hughes done after 6.
He did a very nice job tonight. As a matter of fact, he did better than a nice job. He was outstanding.
He retired the last 7 Tigers that he faced.
Wasn't overpowering, but he mixed all his pitches. Breaks the ball, cut fastball, kept Tigers hitters off balance. Molina called a whale of a game.
Laird 0 for 2 strikeout, fielder's choice. Here's the 2-1 pitch. Chopper hit left side, deep in the hole. Jeter plants, throws him out.
And Jeter fundamentally sound at that position. He knew who was running. He grabbed it, set his feet, grabbed the ball, threw a 4-seamer back across the diamond. He's got a big target over there in Teixeira.
Well, our apologies to the right-hander, but his last name is pronounced Melanson. Melanson, even though it's spelled Melancon. That is the correct pronunciation. Sorry about that, Mark. 9th round pick of the Yankees in 06 out of Arizona. The 1-0 pitch. Big swing and a miss. Inge now with a count of 2-1. Melanson made his major league debut Sunday in a loss at Boston. He went 2 scoreless innings in that game. There's a strike called. It's 2-2.
And Girardi needed an extra arm because they were giving up so many runs in Boston. And really, the Yankees have given up a lot of runs this year. But tonight, the shoe is on the other foot.
Boy, is it.
They've had a game this year where they gave up 22 runs. And they had a 14-run inning against them.
So they're probably enjoying this.
In their new ballpark against the Minnesota Twins.
Good pitch. He went around.
Well, we talked about Hughes and his dominance tonight. He only gave up 2 hits. He had that good knuckle curveball working tonight. He mixed that in with a few fastballs, changed the eye level. Molina kept the ball in the middle of the plate, did a nice frame job behind the dish as well. Hughes pitched about as well as you could pitch, about as well as he could pitch in this ballpark against the Tigers offense. It's a good outing for the young man.
Here's Anderson on the ground to the second baseman. Cano gobbles it up. And that is that. Tigers go 1-2-3. You're watching Tigers baseball tonight on Fox Sports Detroit, presented by Bell Tire. Tonight, all New York, that 10-run seventh inning, the difference, including a grand slam by Molina. Hughes was really good tonight. So was Jackson. But it's all Yankees with their 10-run seventh. And Johnny Damon leads it off and flares one foul back out of play.
That young man fired up about that foul ball.
Yeah, something to bring back home with him. Courtesy of Johnny Damon. New right fielder for the Tigers is Ryan Raburn. Maglio gets the rest of the night off. Tigers tonight have been out hit 10-2 as we play in the eighth. Inside, Brandon Lyon missing. Only 2 of the 10 runs were earned runs in that seventh inning.
So that means the only one that had earned runs in that inning were Perry?
Correct. That's popped up back at third, Inge in foul ground. We'll bring up Mark Teixeira. Well, we've talked about this, but tomorrow it's going to be an interesting pitching matchup here with Jabba Chamberlain going for the New York Yankees and Rick Porcello for Detroit. That'll be fun to watch.
Porcello will be pitching in front of Tigers fans here at home for the very first time.
Good breaking ball from Lyon, 1-1. He went around. Teixeira is 0 for 4 and 1 for 8 in the series. Really has not been much of a factor in this set. Here's the 2-2. That is going to go foul.
The Yankee bullpen has struggled so much, and that the question that Joe Girardi continues to get regarding Chamberlain is when will he go back to the bullpen? But he's been pretty good in his last couple of starts as a starter, although he's walked quite a few this year. 10 walks against 11 strikeouts. Haven't seen him as a starter, but they say he's not throwing nearly as hard as when we first saw him a couple of years ago when he was pitching late in front of Mariano Rivera. Remember him? He was throwing 99, 100 miles an hour when he made his major league debut a couple of years ago.
Routinely.
Throwing lots more breaking balls these days, they say. The pride of Lincoln, Nebraska. Jabba Chamberlain.
It'll be fun to watch him pitch tomorrow night, as it will be to watch Mr. Porcello.
Jabba having some fun down there.
3-2 pitch. Lost him. 1 out walk. It's going to bring up Hideki Matsui. Tigers wind up this series with the Yankees tomorrow, and then it's going to be an off day on Thursday. Cleveland in for 3, Minnie in for 2, and then it's back on the road again. So we're starting to see some of the divisional opponents now, with the Indians coming in this weekend. And in the Central, some competitive teams, to be sure.
They're all bunched together right now, too. But it's early.
Yeah, it's real early. I mean, you're still in April, and you like to get off to quick starts. The Tigers have done just that. Here are the Central standings coming into play tonight.
1 or 2 of these teams will get hot and start to run away from the pack. You can book that. Some good teams in the Central. Pulled
to first. Cabrera hits the deck. Lyon will cover.
He made that play in self-defense. That ball was absolutely crushed by Hideki Matsui. Get the married men off the infield. It's a nice play by Cabbie.
And Lyon beating the runner to the bag. Matsui's hit the ball extremely hard a couple times tonight. 2 outs. By the way, this Friday the Tigers will start a stretch of 13 straight against the division. One of the weak links last year for Detroit. Certainly have to improve on their divisional play this year.
Well, Jim Leyland said as much going into spring training this year, that they were going to do some things that he was hoping would make them a better team against Central Division rivals. And I think some of the additions that they have as far as some of the speed and the way that he's been managing will allow them to stay in games a little bit longer. And also the pitching has been really good this year so far from a starting standpoint. Bullpen hiccup tonight, but the bullpen's been good as well.
And there have been a lot of bullpens around the league that have gotten beaten up early on. Verlander and Minor trying to stay warm. Galarraga's been very good. High fly ball. Left center field. Anderson makes the catch. Bottom of the 8th coming up here at Comerica. Everett, Granderson, Polanco on the way. The Yankees, and Mr. Adam Everett will lead it off. Back in the first inning, he was our subject of the Lincoln Mercury Exmo. Look at this play.
Got some hops.
Line drive off the bat of Derek Jeter on the first pitch of the game, and Adam Everett with a great play. Exmo courtesy of Lincoln Mercury. Everett will lead things off.
I got to get over there and see my buddies at Star Lincoln Mercury.
They set you up again this year?
They did. They're great people over there. I've not been over there yet, though. I got to go see them.
Edouard Ramirez is in now. Melanson threw an inning, and now Ramirez. Adam is 0 for 2, couple of strikeouts in this game tonight. The Yankees scored all 10 of their runs in the 7th inning. That's popped up. Cano, one gone.
The center fielder
Now Curtis Granderson. Grandy 0 for 2 tonight. Really, the Tigers have had few opportunities this evening. Maybe their best opportunity was the bases loaded situation with 2 outs in the 4th.
They have not gotten many good swings tonight against Yankee pitching. And it's not often we will say that about the offense that they will run at you on a nightly basis.
Last 11 Tigers have gone down in a row. The 2-0 pitch. Shallow left field. Jeter. 2 gone.
Hey fans, visit the official online shop of the Detroit Tigers at Tigers.com. Browse the largest selection of authentic Tigers gear, including clubhouse caps and T-shirts, jerseys, sweatshirts, and more. Get your Tigers gear straight from the source at the Tigers.com shop.
Here's Polanco with 2 away. Placido is 0 for 3. Strike 1. Tigers have had 2 hits, and they haven't had a hit in a long time since the 4th inning. 12 in a row have gone down. Ground ball off the bag. There's a hit. Into left field. Polanco motoring towards second. Here's the throw. He's in there.
Polanco knowing once the ball gets past Baroa at third, he can get to second base. This ball right off the bag. Baroa doesn't get to it anyway, even though it hit the bag. And Johnny Damon, that's one of the things that he doesn't do well. Does not have a great throwing arm from left field. Most guys, you can't stretch a double there.
He has 10 doubles already.
Yeah, that's pretty close to being tops in the league.
Santiago is going to pinch run for him at second base. Ryan Raburn getting his first at bat. He took over defensively for Maglio. Breaking ball, strike 1. Edouard Ramirez was signed by the Yankees as a free agent back in July of 06. .55 relief appearances in 08 with the Yankees out of their bullpen. Two and one. Swing and a miss. Three balls, 2 strikes.
Raburn was off to a solid start in AAA Toledo this year before getting called up that last road trip. And it really had a good spring, had lots of at-bats for Jim Leland with Maglio and Carlos Guillen both playing for Venezuela in the World Baseball Classic. Jim likes Raburn anyway. He likes his versatility, likes the fact that he can play in the corner outfield spots. He can give you some spot starts in the infield as well.
Leland also felt that because of all the at-bats he got in spring training, that's probably one of the reasons he got up to that great start in AAA. He's got himself a walk here to put 2 men aboard for Cabrera.
You got to give Raburn some credit as well. I mean, there's a lot of guys, and it happens every year that, you know, it goes down to the wire and you don't end up making the team. All of a sudden a kid from another organization comes over, kind of takes your spot as the 25th man on the roster, and you go down and you pout for a couple weeks. You just don't perform well, and you don't have a good attitude. But Raburn went down with a good attitude, worked hard, and now he's back in the big leagues again.
Yeah, the acquisition of Anderson filled up one of those slots.
And I'm sure Jim told him, if you go down there and do what you're supposed to do, at some point in time, I'll see you this year.
Miguel Cabrera tonight, single hit by a pitch. Bounced out his last time, trying to put the Tigers on the board here. They're down 10-0 in the bottom of the 8th. Popped him up. First base side for Teixeira. And that is that for the Tigers. 8 complete here at Comerica. Let's go to the 9th. Detroit is brought to you by Comerica Bank, standing the test of time since 1849, and by Beaumont Hospitals. You have a Beaumont doctor? Back here at Comerica Park. It has been all Yankees tonight, although they didn't spread their scoring around. They scored all 10 of their runs in the 7th inning to take command of this game. And the Tigers and the Yankees will now go to the 9th inning. Juan Rincon is the new Detroit pitcher.
5th game now that Rincon has been in. He's won a game and has not lost. His earned run average is north of 6. But just 1 or 2 bad outings this early in the season will elevate the earned run average. But he made the Tigers 25-man roster out of spring training as a non-roster invitee. He had a lights-out spring training for the Tigers.
So Rincon goes to work. Nick Swisher will be the first man to face him. Tigers have been out hit in this one 10-3.
Swisher got it all started back in the 7th inning off Ryan Perry with a solid single into center field. And all the Yankees went on to do in that inning is scored 10 runs, 8 of which were unearned.
2-0 on Swisher. Swisher batting twice in that 10-run 7th, single, a walk. He scored twice. He's walked twice in the game. And he drills one high and deep to right. This thing's going to get out of here in a hurry. Way back and gone. Swisher hammers one to the seats in right field to make it 11-0.
That's what the Yankees were able to do back in the 7th when they scored 10 runs. Everybody was 2-0, 2-1, 3-1. They got some predictable counts to hit in. Swisher crushed that 2-0 fastball. Absolutely crushed it.
Sounded like it was shot out of a cannon. There's a drive into right field and a base hit for Melky Cabrera. Rincon has come on, giving up a home run and a single.
Well, you knew it was a matter of time before the Yankees offense would wake up. Just kind of hoping it was after tomorrow night.
Swisher joining the party. 12 hits now for the Yanks.
The Yankees got Swisher from the Chicago White Sox in a trade in the offseason. And after they signed Mark Teixeira to that huge 8-year deal they signed him to, and they didn't have a place for Swisher to play. They were talking about trading him, but they're happy, I'm sure, they kept him.
In the air to center. Granderson coming over.
Because as bad as they had been going in the month of April, Swisher,
he was good.
Is probably one. Yeah, he was good, and he's also keeping them loose in that clubhouse.
Yeah.
Girardi said that as much yesterday, talking to Mickey York on Tigers Live, saying that we kind of knew what we were getting when we got him, and he is what we expected.
There he is, chattering.
He's a fun-loving guy.
Here is Angel Baroa.
He says it's like he's playing wiffle ball in the backyard. That's the way that he approaches the game. You played a little wiffle ball in your day.
I did. That was pretty good, too.
Wiffle ball was fun.
Oh, it was a great game. You can make the ball do a bunch of different things with wiffle ball. Did you play a lot?
I did play a lot. Strike them out over the line. Anything with a ball, I played.
The 2-0 on the ground to third. To second one. The relay. There's your double play to close out the inning. 5-4-3. They get another run on the Swisher long ball. We go to the bottom of the ninth. Cup hockey playoffs. Here we grow again. You can grow along for the ride. Just go to DetroitRedWings.com. Get your round 2 tickets. See the Wings take on the Anaheim Ducks. Game 1 Friday at 7 o'clock. Game 2 Sunday at 2 o'clock. The 2009 Stanley Cup playoffs. The beard is back. Hey, Drapes was here. Chris Daper earlier here with, is that his son Keenan?
Looks just like him.
He sure does. All bundled up. Getting ready for round 2.
Hanging on daddy. That's a beautiful sight.
He got his gloves on.
Little fella like that. Let's go to the house.
It's warmer there. Jose Veras is the new pitcher.
And ninth game now that Veras has been in, and you can see his numbers are not all that pretty. He does have 10 strikeouts, 6 walks. He's worked 10 innings. The opponent's batting average is not bad against him, though. It must be the base on balls that has allowed his earned run average to get elevated.
So the Tigers now down to their final swings here in the ninth inning. Carlos Guillen will lead it off. Carlos tonight is 1 for 3. Speaking of the NHL playoffs, the Yankees fans might be happy tonight, but both their hockey teams, the Rangers and Devils, were eliminated from playoff action tonight. You're looking at some of the changes defensively. You've got Swisher in left, Gardner in center, and now Cabrera in right. They have realigned their outfield. 2-0 is swung on and missed. 2-1 on Carlos Guillen. Chilly night. It started at 50 degrees at game time. Right now it's much lower than that. 46. Swing and a miss. It's been that kind of night. Hope you brought your blanket. Or the hoodie. 2-2 pitch. This one looks like it might be in play, and it is, and it's caught by Baroa. Nice play. 1 out. It's going to bring up Gerald Laird. Laird 0 for 3. Average still over 300 at 302. It's fouled away. 0-1. Edwin Jackson pitched well tonight for Detroit. He gave the Tigers 6 strong innings, and then the Yankees put up 10 in the 7th.
Yeah, Yankees just couldn't do anything with Phil Hughes tonight.
The 0-1 pitch. Veras replacing Ramirez, who replaced Melanson. Hughes went the first 6. Back up the middle to the shortstop. Jeter throws him out. 2 gone. And it's going to be up to Brandon Inge. Inge hitless tonight, 0 for 2. Strike 1. Veras came out of the bullpen last year for the Yankees, appeared in 60 games. Hit him. Breaking ball got away. The Tigers keep this one going. Inge reaching for the second time tonight.
If you're going to get hit, That's exactly where you want to get hit at. Those don't hurt that much. One is the breaking ball. And two, there's a lot of padding right there. Some of us have a little bit more than others.
Yes, that's all I can say. Here's Anderson. It's one case, one scenario where the more you have, the better.
You got that right.
Anderson looks at a ball outside. Josh 0 for 3 tonight. A couple of ground outs pop up. The 1-0. Three Tigers hits. Polanco a double, which by the way was his 10th of the year, and singles for Cabrera and Guillen. Only 3 hits allowed by Yankees pitching tonight. That's fouled back, and now it's 1-2. Pulled to right field, and it's going to drop. Base hit right in front of Cabrera. Josh Anderson with a 2-out single. Just the 4th hit tonight for Detroit. We'll keep it going for Adam Everett. Molina, meanwhile, will take some time to go out to the mound now to have a chat with Veras. Everett is 0 for 3. This guy believes.
Got his rally cap going.
His rally cap, his rally ShamWow. It's going to take one heck of a comeback. A swing and a miss, 0-1. The 0-1 pitch. Ooh, looked like it was on the outside corner, but he missed. 1 ball, 1 strike.
And Veras thought so too. He gave Darryl Cousins a nice long stare after he called that pitch a ball.
One and two. Last night's game just took 2 hours 19 minutes to play. Tonight, so far we're at 3:20, which is more typical of the games the Yankees play. They tend to play long games. And the 1-2. 2 balls, 2 strikes on Everett. Granderson would bat next if Everett reaches. Veras got a couple of quick outs, but he hit Inge with a breaking ball, and then Anderson singled to right field against him. Three-two pitch. Here it is, hit it. Pretty much what Veras said, and it was fouled off. Everett in the series 0 for 6. And And he fights off another one. Tigers starting the runners on 3-2, so Inja and Anderson getting their sprints in.
And Everett does not want to go quietly. They're making Vera's work out there. And grinding out this at bat.
There's another foul. Tigers 1 out away from dropping their record to 11-9. They would still be 2 over. The Yankees trying to get to 500. They came in at 9-10. Chicago won today. Kansas City is trailing.
And if Everett does not get a base hit, it will be the first time the Tigers have been shut out this year.
High fly ball left field. Should do it. Swisher makes the catch, and that is that. The Tigers fall tonight 11-0 to the